Enhancing resilience of communities to climate change through catchment-based integrated management of water and related resources in Uganda, EURECCCA Project was designed to support the Ugandan government efforts to implement integrated management of water resources management through catchment management planning and implementation to increase resilience of communities to the risk of floods and landslides in Maziba, Aswa and Awoja catchments. This project is implemented through three components, the first being establishing frameworks for climate-resilient catchment management in Awoja, Aswa and Maziba catchments. The second one is implementing concrete adaptation actions for resilience and sustained ecosystems, agricultural landscape and diversification of livelihood systems. And the third component is building capacities of extension services and institutions at sub-catchments, catchments of water management zone level to support local communities and knowledge management. This video serves to share the experiences of the project.
We are implementing, enhancing the resilience of communities to climate change through catchment-based integrated management of water and related resources. Project in Uganda. In short, it's called the EURECCCA Project.
Specifically, it looks at enhancing resilience of communities against floods and landslides in the three catchments of Awoja, Aswa and Maziba. The funding of this project comes from Adaptation Fund through an organization called Sahara and Sahel Observatory, sometimes abbreviated as OSS.
The experiences of the project include multisectoral strategic guidance of the project, formation of catchment and sub-catchment management structures, partnering with other government institutions for sustainability, promotion of improved cooking stoves through women groups, support of existing tree nurseries and to produce tree seedlings, and community-based restoration of degraded areas. Experience 1. Multisectoral strategic guidance of the project.
At national level, the project is guided by a National Project Steering Committee, which is composed of a multisectoral team. Project Steering Committee consists of heads of different government institutions. For example, we have Ministry of Finance represented, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade, we have the Global Water Partnership, East Africa, Directorate of Environmental Affairs, we have NEMA represented, we have the Climate Change Department, the Directorate of Water Resources Management and other institutions like the Civil Society Organization. So this National Project Steering Committee offers the strategic guidance to the implementation of the project. Because of its multi-sectoral nature, the project has benefited and is able to implement the different aspects successfully. For example, Ministry of Trade has been very instrumental in supporting the Directorate of Water Resources Management to operationalize the revolving fund of the project, which is an incentive to communities during the implementation, and they have supported us to form what we call the Water and Environment Cooperatives.
My name is Jen Nabunyamurumba. I work with IRC, the International Water and Sanitation Center, the country program in Uganda, and I'm also a member of the EURECCCA Project. I represent civil society organizations on the steering committee of EURECCCA. And what does that exactly mean? It means bringing the different voices and different perspectives of civil society organizations into the project. And mainly looking at how the project can ensure participation, full participation of the communities, full participation of the different stakeholders, and giving the different stakeholders a platform to contribute towards the project, participate in the project, and also benefit from the project. So, because EURECCCA is a project that believes in multi-stakeholder engagement, and reaching out to the different stakeholders in ensuring climate change mitigation, specifically looking at the community resilience towards climate change.
Experience 2. Formation of catchment and sub-catchment management structures.
The project has also formed and operationalized 3 fully functional catchment management committees and 9 sub-catchment management committees in the catchments and sub-catchments where we are working. These committees consist of political leaders, cultural leaders, women groups, technical leaders, representatives of the disabled, and so many vulnerable groups within the communities. These committees have been facilitated to meet and also to participate in the different implementation of the different activities within the project.
Uchenbone is my name. I'm the sub-county chairperson, Kapiri sub-county local government in Ngora district. In 2017, I was elected as a chairperson Lake Kochobo Sub-Catchment Management Committee. And we had the leaders of all the sub-counties in the sub-catchment that day. And basically, we were attending a sensitization meeting. In the meeting, there are 4 key areas that we looked at. One of them is the wetland restoration. The other one is the tree planting. The other activity is the use of improved stoves. The other one is the issue of supporting women groups. And currently, as we talk, we have done some activities for the sub-catchment. As we talk now, we are restoring some wetlands in our sub-catchment. That is the Adoka wetland restoration in Ngora district, and the other one is in Kamurojo in Serere district. The other one is that we are planting trees in some institutions in the sub-catchment. The other one is the use of improved stoves in the sub-catchment. And in TDDK, we have a women's group there we are supporting. And the trees that we are getting from one of the nursery trees, the nurseries in Ngora district, and we are supplying them to institutions. And currently, as we move to some of the institutions, the trees are doing very well. We need the project to put more money so that we cover the areas. As we talk now, people have destroyed wetlands, people have cut trees, and it is bringing a danger to our communities. As a management, as a sub-catchment management chair, we are also doing some activities in the research so that we can promote the issue of tree planting. We can also train some groups on how we can handle some activities in Serere research. So those are the activities that we are doing in the sub-catchment of my area.
My name is Agunyi George Michael. I am the district chairperson of Soroti. But as far as this program is concerned, my colleagues, the chairpersons of the district in Awoja catchment, elected me as their chairperson. I want to thank particularly the current minister of water and environment, who was by then the chairperson of Kapchora, and was the one who nominated me. Now, what is that we are doing? Mainly, we are saying, can we protect our environment? Can we have the water the way we got it to the persons who are coming after us? So that's why we formed what's called Awoja catchment. But we also said we cannot only have only one committee, so we also have sub-committees That's why you hear about Bisina, you hear about Opeta. Those are sub-committees, but within a Awoja catchment area. All what we are doing is to preserve our environment, to make sure the trees are there, the water is there. Now, when we met as a committee of Awoja catchment, we said, how are we going to proceed? We sat down and said, we must draw a plan in which how we are going to move and make sure that the environment is safe, the water is there. So there is a plan for Awoja catchment, which is supposed to be done at the district, at the sub-county, even at the village level. That's why we're involving everybody. But I'm also very happy that when this plan was made, EURECCCA came in and picked some of the things. Still what we're talking about, the preserving our environment. That is to have water still, and then to have the trees. So what is EURECCCA doing? EURECCCA is saying, why don't we restore our wetlands so that these wetlands continue being there? And why don't you, where there are rivers also, we reserve the river banks? So that's one thing they are doing in Awoja catchment. And those of you who have been to survey as a whole, you will see that these things being done there. What they are also doing, EURECCCA took, is to make sure that trees are planted. And those of you who are in Teso, we had a very big thing in Katakri, which is working there. We are getting those trees to make sure they are planted in all the areas where they are supposed to do. Now, when we are talking about people not messing up with the trees, what alternative are we doing? That's why EURECCCA came with a program of having what we call cooking stoves, which can save the number of trees which we are going to use. So there are also those plans of having the cooking stoves. Apart from that, EURECCCA Project is also having the issue of doing research. While we are doing this, what challenges do we come with, and what is that we are expected to do? So there is also a research part going on. Lastly, I want to say I am very happy. When you are moving people away, say from the wetlands, while you are telling people that you should now preserve the trees, they have been surviving on those wetlands. They have been surviving these trees. So what are you going to do? So there is also a program of livelihood where the people are put in groups and are given some funds, revolving funds, where you can go and borrow, do something, bring it back, and your colleague can also do. So I want to thank government, particularly the Minister of Water and Environment, His Excellency the President, and the whole entire government.
Experience 3. Partnering with other government institutions for sustainability.
Through the EURECCCA project, the Ministry of Water and Environment has partnered with the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, to set up 3 demonstration centers. These demonstration centers will act as centers for experience sharing and showcasing the best practices within ecosystem conservation, income generating activities, and control of floods and landslides. As such, we have set up 3 demonstration centers, one in Kazadi, that is in Kabale, then another in Ngeta. Ngeta is in Lira, and then another one in Nasari, which is in Serere. So we shall have Ngeta demonstrating income generating activities that people can do that are friendly to the environment. We have Kazadi, which is going to demonstrate how to handle floods and landslides. And then we have Nasari, which is going to demonstrate ecosystem conservation. As such, the ministry signed an MOU with NARO, and this MOU stipulates what the roles of the NARO is and what the roles of the ministry is.
I'm called Raban Tujajenda. I'm Director of Research for Ngeta Zadi. And this institute, Ngeta Zadi, takes care of 17 districts in Acholi and Rango sub-region. We have 8 districts in Acholi and 9 districts in Rango sub-region. We carry research in agriculture and fisheries. We carry research in natural resource. Recently, we had a challenge of a training center for our farmers. Our conference hall was old, not usable. So we were able to get support from EURECCCA Project to rehabilitate the conference hall. You can see how it looks like now. And it's about 80% complete, meaning with about 20% complete. And this will be a center for training. Our aim is to make this center a one-stop center for training for all our stakeholders, including extension, farmers, and other organizations. EURECCCA Project is not only supporting the conference hall, it also supports us in rehabilitating our solar-powered irrigation system. We had begun establishing a solar-powered irrigation system. In the middle, we got some challenges of finance, so this EURECCCA Project came to support us to complete this. So this EURECCCA Project came to support us to complete this solar-powered irrigation system. In addition, EURECCCA Project is supporting us to rehabilitate our 17 fish ponds, and this will go a long way in training farmers in fish farming. We are trying to discourage farmers from fish hunting, from swamps and wetlands, to real fish farming, so that they become fish farmers. So those areas they are putting across are all going to help us to modernize our agriculture from subsistence to medium income farmer to commercial farming. After putting the conference hall, after working on irrigation system, after working on fish ponds, EURECCCA went ahead to give us funding to demonstrate farmers alternative way of living, to avoid them having a lot of pressure on the natural resource. So we shall be putting up some demos here on the station in apiary, mushroom growing, in agronomy, in fish farming, and other demos. So we shall be having, as I said, one-stop training center. We shall be having conference trainings and also field trainings. I want to extend my sincere thanks to the government of Uganda, to Ministry of Water and Environment for this major support.
Experience 4. Promotion of improved cooking stoves through women groups.
In order to encourage reduction of tree cutting within the catchments where we are working, the project is promoting production of improved cook stoves. So we have partnered with 18 women groups that were identified already existing within the catchments, and these women groups have been supported and are now producing cook stoves that are being utilized by the community members and hence are leading to reduction in cutting of trees.
This is TDD Kashanut Women's Group. I'm called Akilori Dina by the names. One group of the beneficiaries of EURECCCA Project. I'm here with the secretary. She's going to tell you more about the project.
I'm by the names Akelo Grace, the secretary. This group was one of the lucky groups to be chosen by the Ministry of Water and Environment and trained under EURECCCA Project, whereby we trained to make Lorena stoves and fire shield stoves. With the Lorena stoves, we use clay, we use grass, we need even water for making these stoves. These stoves are very good to the community as large. For us, the members are very proud about EURECCA and the stoves they have made, because they use very little firewood. They also, the EURECCA, the Lorena stoves have no smoke, and the Lorena stoves save energy. They cook in a short time, and then with the silver stoves also the same. For us, we now have made 95 rocket Lorenas and then 75 shield Lorenas. We have gone as far as making Lorenas to the neighbors, to the community at large, and when we are making Lorena for the non-member, we request her or him to give us the materials. And the materials, we need enough brass, enough clay, and enough water. And the members come and help in making the Lorena.
We are thanking the Ministry of Water and the Environment of giving us so many things from EURECCA Project. Through EURECCA Project, we were trained, we got knowledge of making Lorena stoves, and we were supported with many things like jerrycans, pangers, wheelbarrows for making Lorenas for the community. Now all people have got knowledge. Those from the group have not got knowledge of making Lorena stoves. Now all the members now are willing to make Lorena stoves for the community.
I'm called Margaret Aweko. I live in Ngora Town Council, Kobuku Village. I'm a beneficiary of Ashanut Women Group in TDDEC who do stove production. I got to know about this group. I have a friend who lives in Ngora sub-county and is a beneficiary of that group who told me about them. That is how I also managed to get the group to come and help make for me one. And this is the stove that was made by Ashanut Women Group TDDEC. Before this stove was made, I was using a lot of firewood, but now I can only use 4 to make me prepare my food, especially beans. I take only 2 hours to boil. And the group did not ask me too much money. What I provided was only the soil for making the stove. We got from the ant-hill about 10 wheelbarrows. Then I got water that was used for mixing. Then the sawdust for mixing the soil, because there was no grass, we would have used grass. And then the stem of bananas that they use for putting the pipe, that one that goes up to connect the smoke. That is what I use. I'm actually very happy with the Ashanut Group, TDDEC, and the Ministry of Water and Environment for supporting such a group in Ngora district, because it helps to save fuel, wood, and conserve our environment.
Experience 5. Support of existing tree nurseries to produce tree seedlings.
Restoration of degraded land through afforestation is one of the major activities that this project is doing. And we have partnered with 9 tree nurseries, 3 in each of the catchments where we are working. These catchments have been supported to improve on their productivity and are hence supplying tree seedlings to the project.
I'm Rukundo Hadadikim. I'm from Karuja Brasser, and I'm a farmer, and I'm the one behind this nursery.
I'm Gega Pamela Rukundo, the wife to Hadad Rukundo, and we are the one operating. this nursery?
I have to appreciate that the support the EURECCCA project has given us. It's really quite appreciated. Because where they found us, we had already a nursery, but it was a little bit small compared to our capital. By then, we are still operating at a small scale. But when they came and they asked us that, can you manage to supply us seedlings worth this amount? Then we said, with your support, we can really do it. So they gave us the necessary support, and that's where we have reached now. We have the nursery which can give the seedlings they want. They started with training us. We had a training in the Cafe Cano that day, and then from there they supplied us nursery equipment and then the seedlings, the seed for germination. We are given a lot of seed for multiplication. Then we are given materials. First of all, we are given the timber for making the beds. Then we are given the watering cans, then hose, pangas, and then also the shades. And then we also given the shade, and they also gave us even a water pump.
After the mobilization, they would tell us that we have these farmers who are in this location. Then we would take the seedlings to the farmers. The farmers would also register in the book. Then we'd also give them they would get the attendance, they would register in the attendance book, then take the seedlings. So after taking the seedlings, we would go there and give them technical support on how to do the planting. Then after planting, still we continued to visit the farmers up to a time when the trees had already gone to a certain height. So we kept on monitoring the farmers, and the people of EURECCCA also continued to visit us. They continued to visit us, to monitor us. Even when we were supplying, these EURECCCA guys would also be there to witness how many trees we've delivered, how many seedlings, the fruit seedlings we've delivered. So we were always together during the delivery and even the planting.
Support 6. Community-based restoration of degraded areas.
The project has employed a stakeholder-driven process of restoring degraded wetlands, riverbanks, and construction of flood control and water harvesting structures. So as such, we engaged consultants that worked with the communities and supported them to come up with restoration action plans. These are costed restoration action plans, and the communities themselves are now implementing these action plans.
We are implementing activities along 4 strategic objectives. 1, we are increasing the resilience of ecosystems through supporting sustainable management of forests, wetlands, and riverbanks. In sustainable management of forests, we have 3 tree nurseries, 1 tree nursery per sub-catchment. For wetlands, we engaged a consultant to engage communities to come up with costed wetland restoration and management plans, which are now ready, and we have embarked on the demarcation activities as one of the measures to do with restoration. We are also working on some degraded riverbanks, especially in the upstream sub-catchment, and for those we also engaged a consultant to train communities in coming up with riverbank restoration measures. We are also increasing the resilience of communities to come up with soil, biophysical, and flood control structures adjacent to the areas where we are restoring riverbanks, but also in the downstream areas where we are restoring wetlands. But we recognize that these activities are being implemented in sensitive ecosystems, and that's why we have a 3rd specific objective of increasing the resilience of communities through livelihood systems.
As a result of experiences shared, EURECCCA has and continues to increase the resilience of communities and ecosystems to the risk of floods and landslides in Awoja, Maziba, and Aswa catchments through promoting catchment-based integrated, equitable, and sustainable management of water and related resources. The project has achieved the following so far: catchment management planning guidelines and catchment management plans of Awoja, Maziba, and Aswa have been revised to include aspects of climate change. 9 sub-catchment level community management structures have been established. 9 tree nurseries have been supported under the public-private partnership to produce seedlings for planting. 5,740 community members have been trained and supported to restore deforested and degraded land through planting of 811,478 seedlings on 811 hectares of land. 18 women groups have been trained and supported to produce 2,203 improved energy-saving stoves out of the required 18 groups to be trained. 12 restoration action plans for degraded wetlands have been prepared through engagement of 2,913 community members. 20 kilometers of wetland boundaries have been demarcated. 9 restoration action plans for degraded riverbanks have been prepared through engagement of 929 community members. 21.4 kilometers of riverbank boundaries demarcated. Plans and designs for water harvesting and flood control structures in 12 hotspot areas have been prepared through engagement of 716 community members. 50 kilometers of water harvesting and flood control structures constructed out of 1,000 kilometers that is expected to be constructed by the end of the project. Capacities of 318 extension services and institutions at catchment level have been strengthened to support communities in Awoja, Aswa, and Maziba to undertake climate change adaptation activities. 3 demonstration centers have been set up in Kachwekano, Serere, and in Ngeta Zadis to demonstrate best practices in water harvesting and flood control, ecosystem conservation, and income-generating activities, respectively.